This question appeared in CSAT 2013. It says in a class of 45 students, a boy is ranked 20th. When two boys joined, his rank was dropped by 1. What is his new rank from the end? So let me show you a representation of the beginning. So there are 45 students, a boy is ranked 20th. This means there are 19 students who are ranked above him. Then there is our student himself that we're talking about. And so there are 20 students we were counted for. So after that, after the student in the class, there are 25 students. That should be fairly clear to you. So 90 students were ranked above him. The student himself, that is 20. And because the total is 45, it is 45 minus 20. 25 students were ranked after him. Now they say two boys joined. His rank was dropped by 1. Obviously, this means one boy was ranked above him, and the other boy was probably ranked after him. So in this case, I have this goes plus 1 and this also goes plus 1. So in this case, what do I have? I have 20 here. This is a student, let us call him A, and there are 26 people behind him. So what is his new rank from the end? Would mean 26 of this, and for the rank you add this person himself also. So he is 27th from the end. So that is answer choice C. This question appeared in CSAT 2013. It says this is a very simple question if you read it, and because it's long you might feel it's difficult, but so the basic crux is that you shouldn't get really afraid just by seeing a question. It says there are some balls of red, green and yellow color. There are as many red balls as there are yellow balls. So let me say there are R balls of red color. So yellow balls are also R. Then he says there are twice as many yellow balls as there are green ones. So this means if my green balls are equal to G, then how many yellow balls do I have? He says there are twice as many yellow balls as there are green ones. So yellow balls are 2 times G. So what is the relation that I have? Let me now put everything in terms of G. The green balls are G in number. The yellow balls are 2G, and the red balls, obviously because they are equal to yellow balls, are also 2G. So now he says the number of red balls is equal to the sum of yellow and green balls. Obviously not, this is not correct. Is double the number of green balls. This is obviously the right choice. Is equal to the yellow balls minus green balls. Yellow balls minus green balls is equal to the green balls. Is not equal to the red balls. Cannot be ascertained, is wrong. Now in this case, in fact, you did not even need to do all this. If you just see that there are as many red balls as yellow balls, and yellow balls are twice as many as green ones. So obviously the red are also twice the number of green balls, which makes B the right answer. You don't even have to write anything extra. This is an oral question. This question appeared in CSAT 2013. It says X men work at a constant speed, do a certain job in Y days. Which of these diagrams show the relation between X and Y? This means number of men is X and the number of days is Y. Now let us assume you don't know anything about work, you have no idea, you don't know any formulae. See, these kind of graphical questions require only logic and your application of mind. So first of all, let's see some answer choices which we can directly eliminate. Now just let's look at this graph. So let us say we are here. Let us just take some random numbers. This is 1 and this is, let us say, 2. If I come here, this is obviously greater than 1. So let's take another number, random number. Let me take this as 8. And it will reach the graph here. So obviously the number of days is more than 2. Let me say this is 10. So this shows that if the number of men are increasing, the number of days to do the same work is increasing. This is obviously incorrect. This is incorrect because as the number of people increase who do a particular job, the number of days taken to do that work should decrease. So now this is not my correct answer. So now let's take a look at this. What graph is this saying? It's saying that if I have, let us say, these number of men, whatever this number is, I can finish the work in these many days, or in these many days, or in these many days. So it's saying it doesn't really matter. Or on the other, if you also look at it from this side, let us say I see, this means that no matter how many men you take, you will finish it in exactly these many days. So again, this is sort of illogical. So again, this is not your right answer. Now these are two answer choices and they seem very close. I'm going to do it without the use of any formula. So you might feel that okay, in both I have a decreasing relationship. So as my number of men are increasing, the number of days required to do the work is decreasing in this and this. So how do we distinguish between these two? Okay, first of all, you need to notice that look at this point here. This means for a certain number of men, he says the number of days required to do the work is 0, because on the y-axis we have 0 at this point. And in fact, even further, if you see, this is actually even going in negative territory. This means that if I increase, so let me just draw the graph here, a bigger version. So this is the kind of graph he has drawn. So at this point of time, this is the number of men, this is the number of days. So at this point, for whatever number of men here, I can finish my work in 0 days, which is obviously not possible. We need to take certain finite greater than 0 amount of days, even if it is like 0.1 days. And if I go even further, so these many men are actually, according to this graph, finishing the work in, this is less than 0, so negative number of days. Again, this is totally inconsistent. So just paying a little bit attention to the detail will tell you that this is also wrong. And hence my right choice is this. In fact, this is totally consistent. As I keep increasing my work, and as I keep increasing my men, if you just see this, as I keep increasing my men, the number of days decrease, but beyond a point, they are tending to 0, but they are never touching the axis. And beyond a point, if you keep increasing men, it's not that it will go to 0, it will just keep decreasing. So this is actually an exponential graph, but you don't need to know all that. You just need to know that you can apply some simple logic to solve these graph kind of questions. So in this, we have to find a pattern between these three numbers here, and the same pattern should be followed in this. So this is sort of for your confirmation, and that same pattern should be followed in this block also. Now this requires some practice and also some luck, but here you can see very simply that if I do 84 divided by 12, I get 7, and 14 is simply 7 into 2. So this could be my pattern. So this number divided by this number multiplied by 2 gives me this number. Now let us check on this. So here we have 81 divided by 9, which is 9, and 9 into 2 is equal to 18, which is my number right here. So similarly here also, it seems that both these blocks are following my pattern. So this should be the same here. 88 divided by 11 gives me 8, multiplied by 2 would give me 16. Now this is not a unique, so this is what we could spot when we were doing the question, but you could spot another relationship. If you find any relationship which is satisfied by both these blocks here, it would be satisfied by this block also. So you can use any other relationship also. So we're given a matrix and we are asked what is the number, this x. Now one thing that you can see is that these are numbers in unit digits. We don't know about x, but the choices show that it's a fairly small number. But these numbers in the middle, this column, are pretty large, 370, 224 and 730. So obviously the relationship between these either could be a relationship of raised to the power kind of a relation. So let us say 7 raised to the power 3 or 6 raised to the power 2 or some such thing. Obviously 7 raised to the power 3 is 343, which seems pretty close to this number, but if you see this 6 raised to the power 2 is only 36, which is nowhere close to this number. But I'm giving you a general principle that whenever you have large numbers involved in a relationship along with smaller numbers, either it could be a relationship of raising to some power, or they could be a general multiplication. So generally it could have been that this multiplied by this would give some big number. So obviously it would not be addition or subtraction. But in case that is also not there, you also need to see something which is used not that frequently in the exam questions, is the sum of the digits. Like in this case, if you see, I have 3 and I have 7. If I sum these digits, I get 10. Also, if I sum the digits of this number 370, again it is 3 plus 7 plus 0, which is 10. Now let me look at this. 6 plus 2 is 8, and if I sum the digits of 224, that is 2 plus 2 plus 4 is equal to also 8. So both these do seem to satisfy this relationship, that this plus this is equal to the sum of digits of this number. So let me see if my answer choice fits in here. Let me sum the digits of this middle number, that is 7 plus 3 plus 0, which is equal to 10. Now this is 1, so this has to be 9 to satisfy my relationship. So if I put 9 here, 9 plus 1 will be 10, and 7 plus 3 is also 10.